On a clear day, Mount Rainier can be seen throughout western Washington and Oregon. This impressive volcano is 14,410 feet above sea level, with the most glaciated peak in the contiguous USA and the source of 5 major rivers in the Pacific Northwest. In this video, we'll provide information about Mount Rainier National Park. Information will include directions, parking, hours of operation, what to see and do, and of course, we'll share our own experience and tips to make your visit here memorable. Keep watching this video to get the full details about Mount Rainier National Park in Washington State. Welcome to Hipfig. If you're a travel enthusiast, then join our community by subscribing to this channel. This is Hipfig's Beautiful America Travel Guide series for visitors to America's national parks and natural preserves. This episode is the Rainier National Park Travel Guide for visitors to Washington State. Mount Rainier National Park is located in west central Washington State, a 2-hour drive south from Seattle, Washington, or a 2.5-hour drive north from Portland, Oregon. The best way to get here is by car. There are 4 entrances into Rainier National Park: Nisqually, Sunrise, Carbon River, and Stevens Canyon entrances. The Nisqually entrance, aka the southwest entrance, can be accessed via SR 706. It's the most popular entrance and open all year round. A note on using GPS here: use the address 39,000 State Route 706 East Ashford, Washington for the Nisqually entrance, or you can type in Henry M. Jackson Visitor Center in Paradise on your GPS. This entrance is closest to the Paradise area and to the Henry M. Jackson Visitor Center, the main visitor center at Mount Rainier National Park. Another popular entrance is the White River entrance, or the northeast entrance, which is the closest entrance and leads to the Sunrise area, the second most popular area in Mount Rainier National Park. Set your GPS for the Sunrise Visitor Center at Mount Rainier National Park. This entrance to Sunrise is usually open by July 1st through early September. Other entrances include the northwest entrance, aka the Carbon River, which is accessed via SR 165. This entrance is open all year round, but cars are not allowed beyond the park entrance, although there is an alternate route available to get to Mowich Lake. And finally, the southeast entrance, called the Stevens Canyon entrance, also known as the Chinook entrance, is open late spring through fall. You can set your GPS to the Ohana-Pekosh Visitor Center of Mount Rainier National Park. We drove to the Sunrise entrance from Seattle on a spectacular sunny summer Saturday afternoon. We made a rookie move, arriving after 10 a.m., but we had guests and so we had to take them on their schedule, so arriving after 9 a.m. could not be helped. But once we did near the Sunrise entrance of Mount Rainier National Park, the line was very, very long. Mount Rainier National Park, and especially this entrance, is busiest in July and August. To avoid long lines like the one you see here, consider visiting midweek and arriving in the park before 10 a.m. or after 2:30 p.m. We waited over an hour, which is not uncommon during peak times. Once we arrived at the fee booth, we showed our annual interagency pass to the ranger and proceeded into the park. The 1 to 7 day pass into Rainier National Park is $30 per car, including all passengers, $25 per motorcycle and riders, $15 per pedestrian and cyclist, and an annual interagency pass is $80. Credit cards and cash are accepted. You can also purchase them in person at the entrance booth or online, but remember to print out your pass if you do it online. From the entrance booth, we drove up 14 miles to the Sunrise Visitor Center on the narrow Sunrise Road, which is absolutely spectacular. Hey, by the way, did you know that there's a free Sunrise Geology audio tour that you can download for free on the NPS website? The info is interesting as you drive up along Sunrise Road, and once you reach Sunrise, it gives you info on some of Mount Rainier's glaciers. The view from Sunrise Road has valleys, the wildflowers growing all along the roadside, the Cascade Mountain Range, and of course the ever-growing views of the imposing Mount Rainier are beyond words. Once we arrived in the parking lot of Sunrise, we got very lucky and didn't have to wait to find parking. Although people are regularly coming and going from this area, most stay at least 2 or more hours here, so be patient as you wait for someone to leave. At an elevation of 6,400 feet, Sunrise is the highest point that can be reached by car at Mount Rainier National Park. From the parking lot, we walked past the visitor center to the picnic area for a bit of lunch. After lunch, we decided to take a hike. A few steps from the picnic area, there's the Sunrise Nature Trail, which comes to a fork. We follow the trail signs to the left up the path of steps, past the meadows known as the Yakima Park, filled with alpine flowers and trees, all with the backdrop of Mount Rainier. The steps up the trail are well maintained and easy to walk for the most part. Once at the top, you'll meet the Sourdough Ridge Trail. If you walk to the edge, you can see the Cascade Mountain Range and the Huckleberry Basin far below with rolling ridges. I never get tired of the view at sunrise. I'm absolutely stunned at the breathtaking views of Mount Rainier, Emmons Glacier, the Cascade Range, and the colorful wildflower meadows. The Sourdough Ridge Trail heads right from this point about 1 mile, providing views of the deep basin below and connects to other trails which lead to Mount Fremont Lookout and Burroughs Mountain. If you hike to Sunrise on the gently sloped, although narrow path on the Sourdough Trail, you can almost see a 360-degree view of the surrounding valleys, Mount Rainier, Cascade Range, and Mount Adams in Oregon. There was still ice on parts of this trail going right, so we decided to hike up the 1 mile Frozen Lake Loop Trail to the left. Just follow the signs. Signs are clearly posted in English along the well-defined trails. This trail is a bit rougher with loose and uneven rocks and is steep the first quarter mile up, but flatter and more narrow once you get to the top of the ridge, but then it drops again about 200 feet in elevation to the frozen lake, where again it becomes flat. We hiked to the top about a mile to Frozen Lake and lingered at the grand views and then walked back down the same way since we didn't want to walk the whole 3 miles. But if you want to, you can return to Sunrise via the Wonderland Trail and the Old Campground Trail. If you want more information on all the trails available in this part of Mount Rainier National Park, visit the Sunrise Visitor Center or the NPS website. The Sunrise Visitor Center is open daily from early July to early September from 10 a.m. to about 5 p.m. daily and is closed in winter. At the Visitor Center, you can find exhibits, guided interpretive programs, book sales, and a picnic area. The Visitor Center was closed when we visited, although there were rangers around so that we can talk to them if we had questions. In addition, there is the Sunrise Day Lodge where you can buy food along with the gift shop. These fortress and blockade-style structures are part of the National Historic Landmark District of Mount Rainier National Park. By the way, restrooms can be found near the Visitor Center. Once we finished our visit in the Sunset area, we started to drive to Paradise, to the Henry Jackson Visitor Center, which is a 2-hour drive. Every time I see Mount Rainier, I'm always overtaken by its grandeur and beauty. Sometimes it stops me in my tracks and can be quite distracting while I'm driving, so be careful. From Sunrise Road, we made a right onto Highway 410 going south, and then Highway 123. As we were driving, on the right-hand side of the road, we saw peekaboo views of the Governor's Ridge Mountains and the Cowlitz Divide. There are several viewpoints to stop at for a full view. Once we arrived at the Stevens Canyon entrance, we made a right onto Stevens Canyon Road. There are several places to stop along the way, like Box Canyon, which has the trailhead for the 14.5 round-trip Indian Bar Trail. The Indian Bar Trail passes through subalpine meadows with views of the southeast side of Mount Rainier. It ends in a valley with a dozen waterfalls. If you like to hike, this is one to consider. As we continued to drive closer to Paradise, we could see the southeast side of Mount Rainier, the snow and glaciers glistening from the late afternoon sun, announcing its magnificent presence. As we drove on Stephen Canyon Road, we saw several lakes like Bench Lake and Louise Lake, all fed by the glaciers of Mount Rainier. We made a stop at Reflection Lakes for a snack. I ate my gooey homemade chocolate chip cookie overlooking the lake and Mount Rainier above it. Honestly, this is as sweet as life gets. You get breathtaking fresh air surrounded by natural beauty, family, and friends, and eating my favorite cookie. #grateful. After skipping some rocks on the lake and taking some great pictures, we continued on Stevens Canyon Road for 3 more miles to the Henry M. Jackson Memorial Visitor Center parking lot in Paradise. For your information, please reduce your speed in this area and follow the signs for Paradise. The roads are only one way in this Paradise area. Paradise is located 19 miles east of the Nisqually entrance. Did you know that Paradise is actually a National Historic Landmark District? The Paradise Inn, built in 1907, is also a historic landmark. By the time we got to Paradise, it was late in the afternoon, so there was plenty of parking, but usually this parking lot is packed, so come early or arrive late afternoon. The Paradise Jackson Visitor Center was closed when we arrived after 5 p.m. The Visitor Center is usually open daily from 9 a.m. to about 5 p.m. from May to early October, and from mid-October through April, it's usually only open on weekends and holidays. The Paradise Jackson Visitor Center offers general information, exhibits, a park film, guided ranger programs, a book gift store, and a cafeteria. Near here, you'll find the historic Paradise Inn. It's a private hotel which offers lodging, dining room, and a gift shop. Near the upper parking lot, you'll find the Guide House, which houses the Paradise Climbing Information Center, where you can get climbing permits and hiking and backcountry camping information. The restrooms are also located here and available 24 hours a day. Did you know how Paradise got its name? It got it from John Longmire's daughter-in-law, Martha, who, when she first came here, she exclaimed, "Oh, what a paradise!" From the parking lot, we walked to the beginning of the newly renovated Skyline Trail, which is a paved trail. This gently sloped Skyline Trail is a 5.5 round-trip trail with an elevation gain of 1,700 feet. We strolled through the paved trail for 1 mile. Along the way, we got close-up views of the subalpine wildflowers, the waterfalls, wildlife, Mount Rainier, and the Nisqually Glacier. If you continue on this trail for another mile after milepost 1 to the Panorama Point milepost, there's a restroom there. My favorite spot on this trail is Myrtle Falls, which is a 60-foot waterfall. There is a bridge that continues on to the Skyline Trail, or you can take a small detour to a steep stairway which goes down for a great view of the cascading water below. Hiking tip: if you choose to hike the whole Skyline Trail, you can go past Panorama Point via the High Skyline Trail, which avoids a dangerous icy slope that doesn't melt. This trail connects back to Skyline above the junction with Golden Gate Trail, and then another 0.75 miles, the Skyline Trail reaches the Stevens Van Trump Memorial and its junction with the Paradise Glacier Trail. From there, it descends into the Paradise Valley and climbs slightly to Myrtle Falls and finally back to Paradise. Here are some preparation tips for Mount Rainier National Park. There are lots of mosquitoes all through the park, so plan accordingly. Although food and water can be purchased here at the park, please be sure to pack plenty of food and water for your group. Also wear sunscreen, dress in layers, and wear good walking shoes. You may also want to bring a change of clothes, a towel, and some flip-flops. Did you know that Paradise is not only a summer destination but also a winter destination with 643 inches of snow a year? You can come here to snowshoe, cross-country ski, and even tube. Rainier National Park is a breathtaking sight and has been revered for thousands of years by local Indian tribes, the Nisqually, the Puyallup, the Squaxin Island, Muckleshoot, Yakima, and Cowlitz. Once you visit here, you'll understand why. This video cannot truly capture the awe of this national park. On the way out, we also visited Narada Falls. After taking many pictures and lingering to enjoy the view of Mount Rainier, we walked back to our car to drive back to Seattle from the Nisqually entrance. Rainier National Park will take at least 6 or more hours depending on your interest. Very few places in the world are as majestic and as beautiful as Mount Rainier National Park, and it's definitely a must-do when you're in the Seattle or Portland area. Happy travels! Go to hipfig.com for more information, or go to our Hipfig travel channel on YouTube and be sure to subscribe for regular updates.